So hello guys, it's Sendou here again with another video, and today actually I'm also streaming this on Twitch, so maybe you already saw this. In that case, I am very sorry for your loss. But we're talking about super jumping today. Super jumping itself is one of the most key abilities in the game that is kinda, even like the most newcomers know how to super jump, right? Like it's not like the game doesn't hide it or something. But my argument is that most of our like really good players and then just good players, like the biggest difference is how they use super jumps in general. And I actually have a couple of clips to show you. This is just some recent clips, like not like top examples or anything like that, but they are still clips that I have done recently. Just showing some situations where you see me super jumping not to battle, but like kind of like away from battle. Actually, that's not it. That's me. That's a different clip I saw you. It's just me squid bagging Harrison, but in fact, here's the first one. So okay, super jumping in, we can talk about that too, but these clips are about super jumping out, and actually I want to talk about this first because okay, most people know that you don't want to die, right? That's not what this game is about. But in many cases, you can kind of like, that would be like really easy loss for me. Most likely I would have died there. The super jumping out, I don't die. So like nothing crazy that you haven't heard before, right? But I think what most people won't be able to know is that there's so many situations where you can actually use it. If you're a fast thinker and run that 1 or 2 stops of quick super jump at least. And here is actually, you can see another, like the example here is actually a pretty good one, because you can see that I don't jump to spawn. Like jumping to spawn is the fastest because there's a hotkey for it. But I actually know that I have a teammate coming from spawn, and I actually super jump to this teammate. This is saving a bit of time since I don't have to swim back all the way from spawn. And I'm also playing Brella, so even if my teammate was a bit compromised, I can still use the Brella shield to cover up for my landing. And this is the last example, just for I think in a Squiggle Sim game. Yeah, so again, like, okay, maybe it's a bit of bad situation. The Rainmaker will probably gotten me here. Tell me about the teammate, and we're back in. So, like, really, this is all there is to it, really. But this is such a big point, and I think this is gonna be hard for many people to get down perfectly. Because here's the thing: even if you can super jump out, you don't want to do it too often. Because there's also players that, like, you look at them in a mean manner, and right away they super jump out, right? And that is also throwing, because every time you super jump out, you're wasting time basically. So you have to make sure that you are actually, in fact, in a position that you couldn't have recovered from otherwise. So for most people, I would actually recommend that you don't do it too often, just because there are some players who make this mistake a lot, and it's a mistake if you are super jumping when in fact you shouldn't have. If you have gotten the kill, then you shouldn't be jumping out. So at first I wouldn't necessarily jump out too much, just in obvious situations. But especially when the game gets like longer and longer, you are defending a lead, then I would rather super jump out than like risk getting wipe or something. Like go for a bit more super jumps than normal. But don't be the player who every dangerous situation just jumps back to protecting the KA. That is not the point of this video. But also, so that's about super jumping out, but there's also the topic of super jumping in, which is, it's probably the more common part of it. And this is, I can also talk a bit about shell jump here, because in fact, many people don't still know this about shell jump. I mean, it's obvious for competitive players, but okay, for example, here's my Splatoon Brella build. Why do I run stealth jump? I don't even run quick super jump. I mean, quick respawn. It's just because I'm getting back in faster, but I'm getting also back in safer. So you can see people camping my jump so easily. Super jump is just helping a bit with that. And yeah, for Brella I could also like just rely on my shield. But I think I would recommend for most short range weapons, if you don't have a really good reason not to, then just run stealth jump. If it's a bigger map, for something small like say the Reef, it's not so necessary. But for older, bigger maps, say Arvana Mall, then yeah, you probably want stealth jump because it just makes it so more mentions so much more cases where you can get a safe jump in, and also run that 1 or 2 subs of quick super jump basically on all weapons. It's not really optional because it's just so big of a difference. Like when I executed, that's really not much time for an enemy to react and get that kill on me, but if I don't run any quick super jump, then it's a little bit less. But yeah, there was also a question in the chat about when to shark and when to jump out. Well, personally I'm not a big fan of Sharker, so I guess the question here is mostly meaning that, say you're the last one alive, should you be sharking and going for kills, or should you be jumping out? Well, this is always a bit of a debate, but I'd say if you think you can get something done from the shark pretty fast, then yeah, you can shark for sure. Say I'm pretty confident there's gonna be a drop there soon, you can shark here and then I can, you know, deal. But some people just shark for too long, and sometimes it's funny, like your teammates are here, then you know, maybe we just make a team push. I have a cloud ready, just jump back and push with my teammates. So don't get separated from your teammates. That's another thing where super jump can help you. But yeah, in fact, I'd say mostly about super jumping in with more experienced players and more inexperienced players. The biggest difference is that more inexperienced players just either there's two types of players for more inexperienced players. Either they don't super jump enough, so they're always swinging back from spawn. Well, you can see for yourself, like it really is not a trivial amount of time that I take to super jump. I mean, swim back from spawn. So I should really super jump always that I can. Like there's really no reason in these ranked modes to just, you know, swim back from spawn. But if you want to be super jumping. And another category is people who super jump way too aggro all the time, and typically they don't even have stealth jump. They just super jump without thinking about it at all. So good signals that you made this basically someone you should super jump to is that he has a bit of a map around him, like map painted around him. So normally the teammates that are dangerous to jump to are a bit of a bad position. They are not covered with their own ink, but say if this was my teammate, that's pretty safe position because we have like a lot of map control. It's pretty unlikely that the time that they will jump in, the enemy would get in and get like a proper jump camp, and they don't have the map control either, so they're very limited in what they can do. But yeah, just use your brains with this, and also watch for the enemy locations. Like you can see the enemy locations on the minimap, and just, you know, use those to advance. And I don't know, it's mostly experience. It's mostly experience, and I know there really isn't much else to it except just strive stuff out. But do remember the fact that you can always jump out, but don't be too eager to do it all the time, because that's also a mistake. And for super jumping in, again, don't hesitate to do it, but also use your brains when doing it. Is the mate I'm jumping to safe, or rather safe? Is it like completely covered in enemy ink? Then I shouldn't probably jump to him. Alright. And there was also a question about drop roller. Should you ever use drop roller? In my opinion, it just doesn't bring enough value compared to stealth jump, because good players can still like scam your drop roller jump. Drop roller mostly can gain value if you are, say, surprising the enemy, like they don't realize that you actually have drop roller, and then you jump in and you surprise them. But you know, that really doesn't work too often. It also works out of inkjet, so you know, you can definitely give it a go, but I personally don't think it's a replacement for a stealth jump. But yeah, I think that's pretty much what I want to say in this video. Hope you have success super jumping in, super jumping out. One of the quirks of this game but I'm sure you'll get it down. And you know, even many like experienced players are struggling with it, and it's definitely one of the hard concepts of this game to fully get down. Like one of those that's really the most simple thing you can ever think of, but it's actually super hard to nail it down to an optimal. But I know, I trust you. You can do it if you just keep your head in the game, so to speak. But yeah, that's the video for today, and hope you guys liked it, and see you guys next week with another video when I have an idea for this, and so on, so on, so on. Yeah, talk to you guys later. Bye.